I'm back to another hunt for, you guessed it, Red October. Brought myself to mostly a beech kind of as you first come into the wood, and then a bit of hazel, a couple of oak trees. But yeah, some birch as well. Bit of an overcast day today, isn't it always? But we do have little pockets of light coming through, bit of rain coming through as well. So now I've been to this wood several times before. I really love it actually. It's a lovely wood just to sort of bimble through, and actually I quite like it later in the year as well, when most of the trees have been stripped bare and you've got, again, I think I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, very skeletal nature. I quite like that about woodlands. But while we have a little bit of colour, we might as well have a little bit of a play, and got a bit of a scene here. Now again, this is where light, you hear us photographers talking about light all the time. It's almost as if it's important or something. When I first came across this scene, there's a fallen moss covered trunk of a tree that has kind of almost become part of the sort of wall, and then it's kind of meandering through, and then in below there's a little bit of autumn colour and a holly tree, and then there's a little moss coloured stone wall that just leads off into the distance. Now when I first arrived here at this scene, there was actually a little bit of light coming through, which actually did help to sort of pull the eye through. That light is now completely gone, but I think what I'm going to do is set the camera up. Again, this whole process of, I think I said it back at the very first time, this whole process is all about, honing my eye, getting my eye. If I end up with an image, bonus. But it's really all about getting my eye in. So rather than walking by this scene just because the light has gone, let's get the camera set up and see whether we can tweak something out of it. A theme seems to be developing, where the conditions in the woodland either seem to be dull as dishwater or far too bright, and we're kind of just on that cusp now. We just had a really bright patch move through. It's kind of rushing me a little bit in this one, because with the specular highlights, it just really wasn't working. But it does look as though we're just going to get these weather systems moving through, which, if we can catch it just on the edge of it, maybe softer light, then you never know. There was a scene up behind me here that was kind of drawing my eye a little bit as well, but it just became a little bit too bright with that sun out. But maybe if that sun starts to get behind another cloud, or gets diffused behind a cloud, we might have some joy. But anyway, let's take a wander on. We actually had a lovely little bit of rain moving through there, and it was just catching some of the sun as well, which was actually finally giving us a little bit of diffusion going on in the background. It's kind of cleared up now, and the sun seems to have gone in behind a cloud. Oh no, hang on a minute, we're getting another wee bit coming through there, so I'm just gonna... This is a really complex forest. I knew it was. As I say, I've been here lots and lots before, and it's one of the reasons why I love it, because it is complex. All the trees seem to have gnarls and knots in them. There's lots of moss everywhere. There's boulders, there's old roads, but old walls. There's trees down, there's trees holding other trees up, and of course we do have some nice autumn colour and rain. There's a tree. My rab jacket is away getting fixed. I ripped a hole in it, so I'm back to using this one here. And Actually, I was talking about a funny story last week, wasn't I? Hang on. I'll be really quick. Basically, this is like a big bin bag on me now. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight, and it's kind of working. But the downside of that is a lot of my clothes are very baggy. I don't like buying clothes when I'm trying to lose weight, because of course you end up buying something and it fits for a while and then you lose some more. So anyway, upshot is I'm wearing baggier clothes, including my trousers. And last week I was thought, oh, my trousers keep falling down. So what I'll do is I'll tuck my thermal top and my fleece into my trousers. Kind of, what do you call it? Oh, there's a guy from an old sitcom I seem to remember. But anyway, and so to do that I kind of had to unbutton my trousers and then sort of like slack them down a little bit. Oh, that's raining quite heavy now. And basically, while I was doing that, I kind of lost I don't know whether I lost the feeling in my hands or whatever happened, but my trousers kind of dropped round to my knees. And guess what would happen at that precise moment? Yep, you guessed it. Somebody came round the corner, saw me standing there with a camera and a vlogging camera, trousers around my knees. Not a good look. Wow, that rain's coming down pretty heavy now. If only we could get just a little bit of light. Just a little bit of light. Anyway, upshot is, maybe I should wear a belt. So I'm going to speculate that I'm not sure we're going to get any more particular light anytime soon on this scene. So I think we'll wander on. Now, up behind me, I've just spotted an incredible looking tree, at least from a colour perspective. The downside being there is a road between this little wood and the tree opposite, but there might be a way to shoot into it. There's even a little gap in the wall up here, so I might take a wander up now that I'm here. I was going to head deeper down into the woods, but of course if the ambient light is pretty low, we don't really want to be getting too deep dark in the woods. So I might take a wander up and see what this other tree's like, but I think that worked okay. Definitely needed the rain moving through. Hopefully I've managed to control the highlights with the sun breaking through, but not bad. Right, let's go take a look at this tree up here now. Oh, that's drizzling quite heavy now, but the scene behind me, I look like Darth Maul or something here. The scene behind me just was popping, just lovely. A real mixture of some old dead gnarly trees and then some lovely autumn colour. So I took an image both horizontal and vertical. Again, nothing too complex. F8 polarizer, and just looking to pick out some of those lovely colours. But that rain's quite wet rain. The really bright coloured tree over here that I saw, I can't really get a very good position because that would involve me sort of coming along the road, and it's a little single track road here and wouldn't be the best, and the composition here just doesn't work. But really lovely tree actually, and again just set aside against some sort of old gnarly darker trees, so might throw up a couple of iPhone images from that, but certainly not going to bother getting the main camera out for it. Oh, that's raining quite heavily now. So back in the woods again. Pretty challenging conditions, as I've said. Kind of we go from bright sunshine to dark dankness, and it's about catching it just at that right moment. Now I think we're about to get some of that kind of diffused light coming through and maybe a little bit of rain. So I've been focusing on this, there it is there. Big sort of gnarly, sort of twisted tree with at least 3 trunks. So I've been kind of focusing on it, and there's a whole big riot of colour behind it. I think it's a little bit too bright at the moment, but it's starting to diffuse just a touch. So again, it's just about catching it just at that moment. Now, ideally, we would have a little bit of light still and a little bit of rain, but I don't think on this occasion we're going to get that. But what I love about it is it's just the various layers, and that's provided by the colour. So I'm going to go back here and hope that we just get just a little touch. I can't really see to the sky too much, but I'm pretty sure there's another bank of clouds moving over, so fingers crossed we get some nice light again. Challenging though, challenging. Well, I think that's probably going to be it for today. That sun, I thought there was going to be a little bit more sort of cloud moving through, and potentially it will, but I fear that anytime now the sun breaks through, we're just going to be left with, as you can see, quite bright conditions. Now you could argue that you could shoot kind of into the sun, some lovely translucent leaves and the trunks of the trees, but I think what I'd rather do is come back here and explore some more, because I still reckon there's a week's worth of sort of semi-decent autumn colour in here. Don't think I've done it justice by any stretch of the imagination today. A little bit of atmosphere moving through, but complex. And as I said, I do enjoy this wood, even when most of the autumn colour has cleared out. So given the fact that we are in lockdown at the moment and staying reasonably local, I can see me being back here quite a few more times. But for now, I'm going to wander back to the car, make the short drive back home again, and go get some lunch because I am starving. Bye. Another beautiful day in the woods. Right. Once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.